My name is Dr. Adam Manley, and this is the course syllabus explanation video for CTE 5150 Grant Writing for Career and Technical Education. I always like to do a little syllabus explanation for the courses so that I can clarify exactly what's expected within each one of my courses. It's important to understand right off the bat that this is the first time this course has ever been taught online, so there probably will be some stumbling blocks. If you notice anything within the course, please notify me so that we can rectify it for the next iteration. So if you look here at the course syllabus, you'll see my name and you'll see my title here and my office. For those of you that are on campus, if we ever need to meet, that's where you would go, would be Corman Hall. Here's my office phone number and here's my email address. I would suggest emailing me over calling me because I am fairly busy in the fall semester and I'm bouncing around Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids teaching courses and doing research. However, you can try to call me, but I don't always check my messages right away. The email would be the best way. When it comes to office hours, we really can, the only way to do it for an online class as far as I'm concerned is to set it up by appointment. So if you need to meet with me at some point, we can set it up and try to work something out between our two schedules. If you look here at the course description, basically this is obviously a grant writing course. We're going to go through the entire process of identifying sponsors, developing an idea and plan, and then completing an actual grant proposal. The text you're going to be using is called Winning Grants Step by Step, the complete workbook for planning, developing, and writing successful proposals. It's a great text, and what's even better about the text is that you can actually find it online if you have access to WMU's online library. So you never technically have to purchase the text if you don't want to. If you do want to purchase the text, I've noticed it's available on any of the online bookstores as well as more than likely it's in the WMU bookstore. So the goals of this course are going to be to develop a grant proposal, develop and sustain relationships with funders, construct a grant problem statement, define goals and objectives, identify methods and strategies for reaching the goals within your grant. You're going to learn the ins and outs of how to develop a grant evaluation component, and then also how to finally do a proposal summary. I've also got in the syllabus, I have a schedule of discussion topics and assignments. So as you can see here, the way I have this set up is that if I've done my dates all right, every week on Sunday you have something due. And so if you'll notice right here on 9/11 that it isn't a module, however, you are going to do a student introduction. You're going to watch the syllabus and grant proposal identification explanation video on the e-learning site. So this is the first one of those two videos. And then what's due on 9/11 is that you introduce yourself via the e-learning discussion board and that you also do the grant proposal identification sheet and submit that on e-learning. And I'll talk more about that in the next video. Then, as you can see, starting on the 18th, we actually get into the meat and bones of the curriculum for this course. And so Module 1 is due on the 18th. That's where we're going to develop a grant proposal. That's where you'll learn about that. I'm going to have a presentation for each week. Now, I don't launch these presentations until a couple weeks before they're actually due. So right now, you do not have access to Module 2, but you will by the 18th, or actually by the 11th, you will have access to Module 2. And so I don't open up all accesses to the modules because I don't want you working ahead. So you're going to view the Module 1 presentation, and you're going to read the introduction of the text. And then the way that the text works out is it's not in chapters, it's in steps. Because it's a step-by-step process on writing grants. That's the way the book is laid out. So you'll read step 1, and then the next week you'll want to make sure you read step 2, and so forth. And you'll notice that for the first module, you have Module 1. You're going to post your discussion board answer. There'll be a prompt there in the discussion board. You'll post that, as well as you will answer the questions within the Module 1 assignment. So hopefully that helps you clarify and understand how this is laid out as far as this grid. Sometimes there's some confusion, but these dates are the actual due dates for whatever falls within that row. Okay. So we scroll down here, and I just want to point out one other thing, just to make sure that you do read through these, because I don't want you missing anything, such as, on 1127, you've got to have your draft grant proposal into e-learning so I can review it. The same thing goes with the finals week. The finals week, there's not a final for this course, but there is a final grant proposal that you will submit on e-learning for me to grade as well as your final assignment. Also want to point out some notes here that all assignments must be typed and prepared according to whatever formats and instructions that I've provided, and to be very careful about sentence structure, grammar, punctuation, spelling, and capitalization like in any class. Also really important to point out is that all assignments must be turned in during the scheduled class sessions. And this is an online class, so basically what you're going to need to do is make sure you turn everything in by the due date. If you miss a due date, you can still turn in late assignments. However, there's going to be a penalty assessed, which is basically knocks off 50% of whatever you could potentially earn. Anything after a week late, you cannot turn in for any points. So please make sure you don't fall behind. This is not a course that you're going to want to fall behind in. Here's the course requirements and evaluation. So this is basically how you're going to earn your A, which I'm confident that you will if you work hard. So you have 11 discussion board postings, which ends up being about 26% of your grade. You've got 11 of those module assignments that you'll complete, the questions and assignments within the course for each one of the modules. That's going to be 43% of your grade. That grant proposal identification sheet that you're going to complete within the first week, that is 8% of your grade. When you turn in your draft grant proposal, by turning that in and turning it in completely, that would be 8% of your grade. And then your final grant proposal, which would be reviewing any feedback that I've provided in the draft grant proposal, making those edits, finalizing everything, turning it in, that will be 16% of your grade. So I've kind of explained all this, but you're going to want to go through the syllabus and just read these brief explanations about the discussion board postings, the module assignments, the grant proposal identification sheet, the draft grant proposal, and the final grant proposal. So just wanted to point those out. So that completes kind of a quick review of the syllabus. Obviously, if you have any questions regarding the syllabus, please contact me for any type of clarification. I really look forward to working with you, as this is the first class to do this online, so I think it's going to be really exciting, and we're going to work together to make it right. Like I said, if you have any questions, get a hold of me. If not, I wish you the best of luck.